15 years married, wife decided no more affection. 15 years we've been married. 2 kids, 12 boy and 8 girl, both innocent little balls of happiness. Our relationship has always been a little unsteady. She's Japanese from Japan and comes from a wealthy background. Due to culture, her family essentially cut her off when we got married, as it is normal for all assets to go to her brother. We had kids quickly as she has fibroids and was told it would be hard to conceive the longer we waited. She has always been a little prudish and self-centered, but we were always able to talk about it. I had a good job making great money first 10 years of our life, but it ended and I've been scrambling the last 5 years or so to find another great employer, and as such, although I have always been employed, I have bounced around jobs every year or so. She has never been employed since we married, and 6 months ago she got her first full-time job. This coincides with her asking me to grant her a divorce 6 months ago, which I agreed to, but due to finances I stayed in the home for the 3 weeks it took for her to ask to give us another chance. She had stipulations, as did I. She wanted me to get and keep a full-time job which had full benefits, 401k, medical, etc., so I got a job with the city. My stipulations were she had to stop complaining all the time and generally be more affectionate, not demanding yes time, but just any form of affection. A few months later, COVID-19 caused me to be furloughed, but with full unemployment and stimulus plus her working from home, our take-home was about $6,000 a month. Not great, but manageable for our lifestyle. Since furlough, she has become 0% affectionate. We haven't held hands nor kissed, nor had us time. As she is working from home, I naturally took over the kids' schooling, their day-to-day activities, cooking and cleaning. She has continued to invest all of her available time and energy into her activities and her friends. I have tried to be patient. I have seen it as a worth familial sacrifice. But when the kids last week went to stay with my parents for a week, I wanted some affection from her. This is when she said no. Her feelings aren't that way towards me, and she doesn't know how much time she needs nor if her feelings will change in the future. Her reasoning is that I have failed to deliver life on a silver platter, and she's mad I got furloughed, as if I had a real career I would still be employed. I am very calm when I speak to her. She is angry and upset and yelling. If I leave, I take the majority of the income with me. The kids will be devastated. She can't afford the current lifestyle without me giving 100% of my income to her. I have tried explaining that I have no control over COVID-19, and if she wants I will get a different job, but that doesn't work for her because then I wouldn't be home to manage the kids and household duties. She says if I require her to be affectionate in order to bring my income, then I'm treating her like a prostitute. Every day I wake up on the couch and I'm angry from my dreams, which are all about being unfulfilled and lonely. If I leave, my kids' lives change dramatically, as they won't be able to continue in the very nice upper middle class neighborhood and good schools they are in right now. Summer vacation right now, but after. She can't afford to even pay the rent at the nice condo gated community, swimming pool, jacuzzi, rec room, etc. I feel so used and non-important, yet stuck because I love my kids so much. I'm an average guy, moderately handsome, sweet, with no bad habits other than being a bit of a pushover. I can't continue on this way without any affection or love in my life, but I can't seem to get her to truly understand the consequences of her inability to control her feelings, nor even try to be affectionate. I'm okay with sacrificing my happiness for kids' happiness, but I require a minimum of affection from her to continue sacrificing my happiness for her happiness. Any positive ideas or helpful suggestions appreciated. And yes, I'm aware I chose hot instead of loving for my wife, and that this is 100% my making and consequence. Update: I'm so angry and so sad. Update below: for the majority of my life I've always been happy-go-lucky. Bad things happen and I always felt the choice was laugh or cry. And crying doesn't change anything, so always better to look on the bright side. But now I am filled with so much rage and sadness over the way my SDBX is acting. We've been married about 13 years, have 2 kids, 12 boy and 8 girl. She's always been self-centered, but I endured it for the sake of a happy family. She came from a wealthy family where her father worked himself to death but provided well. She's Asian, so soon as she married she was cut off, as is the culture. And that's where the trouble started. Nothing was ever good enough. When I made good money, $175,000, she complained about me never being home. When I made crap money, $65,000, She complained about me being home too much and not working hard enough. She never had a job, and finally got her first in December 2019. Every day she complained about how tired she was, so I had to work then take care of everything else, and OFC none of what I did was up to her standards. Anytime I tried to push back, she would yell and scream while I remained calm and sought solutions. December 24th she texted me she was leaving with the kids. Usually this would prompt a long essentially begging session where I would promise to do whatever was the flavor of the month. This time I acquiesced. 3 weeks I refused to pay for anything until we had a separation agreement or divorce contract. After 3 weeks she decided to take me out to dinner and asked for us to give it another chance, and like a dumbass I agreed. We both had lists of things the other needed to do, and hers was about 6 life-changing things: get a corporate job, lose 50 pounds, cook, clean, give her all income, help her pay back the loan she took for the 3 weeks, $7,000, and mine was one, be nice and affectionate. Well, I've been working on her items successfully, but aside from the occasional smile, she hasn't changed at all, and like a dumbass, I just endured the daily complaining. But now she has decided she's done, and we are separating. And I am just bouncing back and forth between rage and despair. I have sacrificed my life for this family at every turn. I have been sleeping on a couch for the last 5 years. We have a dead bedroom, except when she initiates about 4 times a year, and the focus was always her. My dreams both day and night are filled with rage at her. I don't want to give gory details, as I'm sure you can imagine, and despair focused inward. She doesn't make enough to keep the nice apartment in the upper middle class area we are in. So the kids will have to change schools. She can't afford the lifestyle either, as she doesn't seem to understand that she won't get all my income anymore, nor my time taking care of everything else. And with her crappy way of releasing stress as anger at those around her, I know the kids will bear the brunt of it, because that's what happened during the 3 weeks we were separated. I desperately worry for my kids. They love their life and they love their daddy being around every day. And she's taking that away from them. I've sacrificed everything to make this family work, and she's just lighting a bomb and destroying it. I know my life will be better in every way, but it kills me that the kids will bear the brunt. I've honestly tried everything I can think of. Her only offer was that we should spend a couple years apart so I can prove my commitment to her happiness, and by that she means continue to give her the majority of my income while we live separately. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Update: so it turns out she actually wants a divorce. We are in the middle of this pandemic and live in Los Angeles, which is a hotspot, and she gave her 30-day notice. She changed it from a separation to a divorce when I said I would agree to her stipulations, but I had one of my own. If she was serious about the goal being to get back together, then she can't date anyone else during the separation, and she didn't agree, so it's now a divorce. My poor kids. I just can't imagine life without them every day. I will hate her for eternity for this. Such a selfish person and so dumb. She can't afford any of this. Unless there is already someone else in the wings waiting. Which makes sense. Update: yesterday she came clean. We've been separated since June of last year. She got very upset that I was furloughed due to COVID and felt that this was just an excuse my employer used to get rid of me because of something I did wrong. She notified me of the separation by letting me know she had signed a lease for an apartment already and would be out mid-June. There was no possible recourse for me at that point, so I decided to just pretend for the kids that this was fine. Privately I asked her what her goal was, to work on things or divorce. She said she wanted to work on things, so I let her know I would be supportive as long as 2 conditions were met. 1, we actually try to work on our relationship. 2, she can't date anyone else. Now over the last 13 months, I did the best I could. I have a new job as of December. I've sent her more money that she asked for. I've accepted the occasional flakiness from her on date nights, averages out to about once a month, but when her lease was up I pushed for a conversation about creating a plan to get back together. Not a timeline, just a plan. She balked. She asked for more money because her job didn't cover after-school programs, and I tried to explain that if we didn't have 2 households we would be able to afford this expense easily. She put off the conversation for about a month, and my son accidentally let slip she was looking for another place. I pressed her to commit to an open-ended strategy, and she responded with, "It's over and you should have known." Should I have known when we were having sex? Should I have known when she was cuddling and saying how much she loved me on date nights? I'm so ducking pissed off right now. I feel like such a ducking idiot, but I feel worst about my kids who will lose the stability and comfort of a family that stays together. Their vision of what an adult relationship looks like. Update: how do you build trust? Together 18 years. Married 14 years. She cheated for 7. They say rape is not about time but about power. Is there a connection to why cheaters carry on long-term affairs? We are trying to have some semblance of a friendship co-parenting moving forward. But I just don't understand how anything she does can help build trust again. We have talked about everything. She answered all questions. But the answers just don't seem to make sense with the actions. She said our time life was fulfilling, but she was having time with this guy fairly regularly. She says she still loves me, but up until 6 weeks ago was planning on divorcing me and never telling me the truth and letting me think everything was my fault forever. I don't think a relationship romantic is ever going to be in the future for us. But we have 2 kids together and have to co-parent. How can I even trust her to do what she says about them when everything she has done was betrayal for our family together? Are there trust-building exercises, actions she can do? I went from trusting her 100% to 0%. Sometimes I call the school to verify the kids were picked up simply because I just don't believe her at all. How the hell are we supposed to co-parent when one parent was able to lie for over 7 years to the other? So ducking lost. Update: the update. Super quick recap. 18 years together, 15 married. She had secret AP 7 years. I broke them up and made them hate each other. We were trying reconciliation. 4 months post D-Day. She came over tonight. We talked about nothing and everything. She was being truthful. She said she can't try anymore because she feels nothing for me. I cried again. You'd think I was out of tears. I didn't get angry, not loud, just quiet talking about how I had changed, and the old me would have tried to convince her to try again, or put more effort, or blah blah blah. Instead, I just feel nothing. She talked about how angry she still was at me. I asked why. She won the war. She cheated on me for half our marriage and lied. She destroyed me. What's left to be angry at? But narcissist's gonna narcissist. And cheater's gonna cheat, I suppose. Monday the lawyer talks begin and she will learn what the complete removal of my support actually means for her life. Our 2 kids, 9F and 13 meters, are gonna be devastated. But they are what remains of my family now. She has proven herself to be a non-person to me. Christmas dinner, she's uninvited. So it will be my family and the kiddos. Gonna suck for a while, but what can you do? She got what she wanted. She's free to duck whoever she wants and manipulate whomever she can. I will refuse alimony and pay only state-required support. 50-50 split all assets. And if she balks at all, I'll threaten to out her affair to her social circle. I was willing to try, despite what she did. But I can't carry the relationship on my own. All communication is through text now. What a ducking waste of 18 years of my life for this self-centered, selfish person. Update: how do I handle the rage I feel externally and internally? This is normal, I hear, to be like a metronome bouncing between so much rage towards her and rage towards myself, while the middle seems to be just overflowing sadness. I'm so angry at her sometimes, I find myself imagining fantasies of just ducking her side up. Everything from putting Nair in her shampoo to pulling a Tanya Hatting to worse. I'm so angry at myself sometimes, I find myself imagining fantasies of everything from just running away into the forest or driving into the desert to an ending in her apartment. I'm not suicidal. I'm just so ducking hurt by what she's done, and I'm tired of crying at the drop of a hat. I love my kids and they keep me centered and focused, but when I'm not with them, I just feel so much of whatever the metronome is clicked towards. I'm just wanting to know coping strategies for removing these thoughts, as sometimes everything seems so ducking, devoid of meaning and empty. And the future so damn lonely. She's off with a new guy and feels no shame, faces no consequences, while me and my family are torn apart. And the kids having to deal with the normalcy of her just moving on like nothing has happened, and daddy hiding his tears at everything. Duck, I hate her for what she's done. Duck, I hate me for still thinking about her. Update to 7-year affair attempt reconciliation. Quick summary: 18 years together, 15 married, 7 years secret boyfriend, 3 months reconciliation. So, after 3 months of her trying, I caught her in a lie and saw the picture she took from a jacuzzi of a new rando dude from his condo. She did need gaslight same as before when confronted, but this time I just shrugged. She said, "I have no feelings for you," and she showed no emotions as I cried again. Then she left. No contact for 5 days. Then she called and said we had to meet to talk about something important. Being the schmuck I am, part of me hoped it was her apologies wanting to continue reconciliation. Other part knew it was gonna be something crazy, but at this point I tried to prepare myself. Made a huge list of potential crazy sites she might say. Pregnant. Moving in with him. AIDS. Moving to foreign country. Sold the kids to buy heroin. New job as exotic dancer. New job as life coach. CIA spy undercover. From the future to create savior of mankind baby. Satanist to create apocalyptic antichrist baby. Lizard person. Alien pyramid builder. Dimensional traveler hiding from dimensional cops. Dimensional cop hunting dimensional travelers. Infected with brain worms. Reincarnated JFK Jr. complete with QAnon hat. Lesbian. Had abortions. Immortal being from Garden of Eden. Nazi science experiment to make super yoga being. Nihilist with ferret. Marvel villain cut from movies as too evil. Disneyland ride janitor. Planning to get trans surgery so she can literally duck me after metaphorically ducking me. Ate both kids as part of a demon summoning ritual. Vampire Queen Akasha. Raised by narcissistic wolf pack. Secret love child of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I thought I was pretty prepared at this point. I had responses for any and all of them planned out, mantra of Grey Rock on repeat, etc. When she got in the car, she asked if I was upset. I wonder what could possibly be upsetting to me. The 7-year affair? Only trying 3 months at reconciliation? Or the new boyfriend made during reconciliation attempt? Asked her what she wanted and why it was important to meet. I braced myself for either a shape-shifting unicorn or her being Japanese, a transformation into Mechagodzilla. SDBXW, I want to try to be friends. I was happy it wasn't on the list, then irritated it was something I hadn't foreseen and planned for because it was simply too bizarre and crazy to be included. Me, do you have any friends that you lied and cheated on for 7 years? STBXW, no. Me, then you still don't. STBXW, if we were friends, I would let go of all the anger and hate I have for you. Ooh, now we're bargaining? I know how this works. Where's my golden fiddle? Or my matchbox of screaming beetles? Series 7 carbon neutralizer. Me, I know what I offer. I'm sweet, caring, bent over backwards to help you numerous times in 18 years. Me, what does you being my friend look like for me? Paint me a picture of what you're offering. STBXW clearly hadn't realized I would actually ask any questions instead of blindly accepting anything she offered. Starving men in the desert syndrome. Well, if you needed help, I would help you. Me, in 18 years of knowing me, have I ever even once asked for help from you? STBXW, no? Me, then why the duck would I start now? STBXW, why can't you be an adult and think of how this will affect the children? Me, you mean like you did when you started ducking some rich stranger without protection and letting him finish inside you for 7 years? STBXW, I knew you were too immature, she actually said, childlike. Me. Okay. So anything else we need to discuss? STBXW. She sat there alternating between big anime sad eyes and waves of anger shaking frustration. No. Me. Well then. Get the duck out of my car. Later on she sent me a text talking about how she can't release her anger and hate for me. Minimized her affair by saying we had both done bad things, as if me lying about paying some bill late, or taking a day off to hang with my buddy instead of working was equivalent to her 7-year affair and that it was over. Which I thought was redundant considering her quote 5 days ago, I have no feelings for you. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1. It seems like you are getting a handle on some things. This is a process, not a scorecard where you get judged. Under the yoke of your pain, I think you handled her real shit well. And you are right, she has not been a friend, so she cannot be one. I also like how you made sure she understood that she was the only problem. Redditor 2. Bravo. Good ducking show, op. It amazes me reading stories similar to mine in the sense of the WS shifting blame and justifying their actions. And then wanting their cake and eating it too. Stick to those wonderful guns of yours and ain't nowhere to go but up from the bottom. Op answer, I think it's a great sign that despite my ever-present tears threatening to burst forth at every damn moment, my humor is coming back. A sign of healing. Redditor 3, your dialogue was masterful. Redditor 4, don't need to be friends for anything after the divorce, just don't be a shoals bad-mouthing about the ex to the children when they are in respective parents' custody. She is incapable of not being a shoal to the kids. I'm sure the kids will eventually realize you're the better parent by sheer virtue of not being cheating lousy. Op answer, yep. For my daughter's sake I'm keeping her secret. For now. Just that mommy has a new boyfriend. Nothing about the last 7 years of my 9-year-old's life. I made a pact with myself to always tell them the truth so they will know eventually, but it doesn't serve me to badmouth her and certainly doesn't serve them. I know she's gotta get her narrative out soon, to minimize from her SE actions and distract and blame me, but it doesn't matter. The truth will out. Redditor 5, did she told what's the reason of her anger for you? Is it that just only your existence remind her of what a terrible person she is? Or is it her anger that why she can't eat the cake without harming someone? The world is so unfair. Op answer, the root of her anger for me is from daddy issues. Her father was wealthy, big fish in a small town, well respected and regarded, and completely emotionally unavailable and quick to anger for any perceived transgression. She idolizes and emulates him. She hates me because I'm not rich and don't ignore her in feelings. She told me once that her wish was I would be rich and busy so she could enjoy her life and do anything she wanted while I was away on business trips. Her affair partner of 7 years was a clone of her dad. Rich, no emotions, only met her during the day to FCK, and ignored her otherwise. Sick, broken people.